Saturday.
Oh yes, they did.
And Nueva Ecija needed a statement win. Well, they've got 10 more minutes to complete it. Up by 21. Holding foul against JC Marcelino as Dondon Gumaru tried to come off that screen on the other side. You see the quarter scoring pretty much all Nueva Ecija, 26-11, 21-18, 20-17. And itong Ilagan Isabela only held to just 46 points after 3 quarters.
But those are 2 quick fouls called here. That's the second on Nueva Ecija. We've barely gotten to 17 seconds in the 4th quarter. And if the Ilagan Cowboys continue to attack that paint, which they have done in the 1st quarter, kaya lang hindi nila ma-convert kanina. And this could be an approach that Coach Louie and the coaching staff of the 5-star Cowboys could consider getting to the line.
2 fouls in 12 seconds para dito sa Nueva Ecija. Mark Dyke making both free throws, 67-48. The Marcelino twins with Billy Robles, Will Macaloni, and John Wilson. JP. He drives right. Billy Robles kicks it out. John Wilson on target tonight with a 3-point stroke.
Nilinis yung lente na yan para sa gabing ito kay John Wilson.
70-48. Mark Dyke backing down Robles. Hook shot will work.
And that's got to be a thing that Mark Dyke has to go to. He has got to impose himself down on the paint. Maybe coming from the outside and getting paint touches and trying to get paint finishes.
JC blowing pass. Art De La Cruz counted plus the foul after that layup by JC Marcelino.
The Cowboys have the power of Mark Dyke underneath, but if it's from outside in action, that speed of JC is going to take over. And Art De La Cruz was pretty much late on that contest against the layup of the left-handed JC Marcelino.
In prison siya dun because nakita mo yung speed doon ni JC Marcelino. And also, popping out there was Robles. But JC missing the free throw, 72-50. Dondon Gumaru, Ryan Arenal, Coco Pingoy, Art De La Cruz, and Mark Dyke naman ang unit ni Coach Louie sa loob. Mark Dyke mintis pa rin galing sa 3.
And very wisely, the Rice Vanguards go to zone defense to avoid any more paint action and just let them make shots, or take shots rather, from the outside. Itong Cowboys mismatch.
Macaloni lost it. De La Cruz. Ooh, great anticipation by JC Marcelino. Stealing that pass away.
Well, how about the elevation, no?
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Oh, barely caught the hand of Coco Pingoy, pero linis ng take off ng tira na yon ni John Wilson.
72-50. You see the 3-point shooting. Both teams actually not shooting really well, but Ilagan Isabela much worse. Only 5% from beyond the arc.
And all the 4 3-pointers of the Rice Vanguards have come from only one guy, and that is John Wilson.
Ball stolen away by Macaloni. John Wilson on the move. Wilson with a semi-Pinoy step. He will get the basket. 18 points for John Wilson.
John Wilson going back to his days where he takes over games, making shots from the outside. This time, trying to put the ball on the floor and attacking the paint.
Coco Pingoy will fire from downtown, and he will get it.
That's a big one right there. What a shot by Coco Pingoy.
Lead back down to 21 points. JC Marcelino. In front of him, Coco Pingoy. Stop in his tracks. Macaloni whips a pass to JV on the other side.
Ooh.
JV recovers. Macaloni able to score.
And you see the twins right now talking to each other. JC was telling JB, get out of that left side dunker spot. That spot is mine. I can't get in if you're gonna be in there. Pero ganda ng pagkaka-recover ng bola na yun ni JB.
De La Cruz gets the call on the other end. Foul will be called on John Wilson. Pass per the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig. Free installation for split-side air conditioners.
And John Wilson going the Pinoy step. Little show and footstep action before that finish. Ang ganda ng pagkaka-deflect ng bola na yun ni Will Macaloni.
Art De La Cruz, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. Against the friendly bounce on the second free throw. And dito papasok for Ilagan Isabela yung paulit-ulit natin sinasabi na mantra nila na well, whatever happens, hindi sarili kundi sistema dahil tutulungan tayo niyan hanggang naglalaro. Right now they're staring at a 21-point deficit and time clearly not on their side. Nueva Ecija really having their way on both ends, as that time though a foul will be called against Jam Ramito.
I don't know if you'd agree with me, Ken. Ito, how many points advantage? This is 21-point advantage. Pero somehow it does not feel like the Rice Vanguards are comfortably ahead, diba? Kasi patuloy na nakikita mo yung galawan ng effort nitong five-star Cowboys. These guys just refuse to give up.
Actually, Ilagan Isabela has forced a lot of turnovers, but speaking of turnovers, yan din problema nila. And JV to JC once more for the basket. Oh! Kasi kung titignan mo yung number of turnovers, hindi man nagkaalayo. 16 to 14.
Yes.
Now 17. But now, because of this alley-oop play, 24 points off turnovers by Nueva Ecija. And they have really made Ilagan Isabela pay for their miscues.
And boy, those couple of plays by the Twins must be deflating para dito sa five-star Cowboys.
Gixer, great move of the game. Born for greatness. Timeout. Ilagan Isabela as Nueva Ecija extends their lead to 25 points. 80-55. If you caught on to the halftime interview of Andrea earlier with Boss Bong Cuevas, well, before we get even further with that topic, pag-uusapan natin how well-rounded itong dalawang manlalaro ito, Art De La Cruz and Rob Celis.
And so far, these guys have not disappointed. Parang hindi scoring, pero rebounds and assists, doon naman bumabawi itong dalawa. And Art De La Cruz, in my opinion, has went to scoring more because his team needs it. Whatever yung kailangan ng nila Coach Louie, yun naman talaga ang kino-contribute nito ni Art De La Cruz. And that time, little bit of contact between John Wilson and Coco Pingoy. I thought I saw John Wilson get that left shoulder on Coco Pingoy as he was trying to do a little shallow cut the other side of the floor.
Nueva Ecija in penalty. Art De La Cruz, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. He will get a breather here. Papatik si Alan Santos.
And with those couple of highlight plays earlier by the Twins, ang tanong dito, how will the Cowboys respond? And it really would matter now kung ano pa ang klaseng effort ang maibibigay nitong Cowboys, because you've been battling for almost the 3/4 of the game. Matter of fact, half of the quarter already, and you still can't get a considerable cut on that deficit.
Sean Bautista will get an opportunity here replacing Coco Pingoy. Rob Celis on the bench, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists. But just going back to the interview earlier, the message is clear. For Nueva Ecija, it's either championship or bust. And to Sir Bong's point, the players, the coaches, they owe it to the fans na alam naman natin could be really rabid here in Palayan City. It has been a very huge advantage in the last 4 years. It's been a really tough place for other teams to conquer. And certainly, yun nga ang last statement nga ni Sir Bong after that interview, gusto niyang madagdagan yung banner na nasa itaas. Gusto niyang maging dalawa yan at the end of this season.
Tingin ko bawat taon naman ganun ang expectation para dito sa Rice Vanguards to get a title here to Palayan City and get another banner hoisted up there. And I don't think that has changed. Patuloy pa rin yan na magiging goal, but maybe just this season talagang after for quite a while, Pampangas won it back to back, and with Baltasar gone, and this being almost an open race for everyone in terms of the title. Of course, you still gotta contend with Abra. The hope is finally we bring that title back here in Nueva Ecija, and I think that primarily is the reason for the message of Boss Bong. See another action right here. Two guys that got into it earlier in the third quarter, but Jammer chooses to be a little bit more patient now.
Si Ma'am Ryan yung tumayo eh.
Well, it just shows you the commitment as well of the owners to supporting their players and their team on the floor. They never miss home games here for Nueva Ecija.
From Lupao, Nueva Ecija, Bobby Balucanag inserted here. Ken and Mocon will nail that three. 83-58. Dire-diretso si AJ Miranda. Mintis lang pero may offensive rebound at may foul naman laban sa Nueva Ecija.
And then ang mahalaga dito, Ken, tingin ko is wag mag-relax muna itong Rice Vanguards on the floor, and they've closed out quarters really strong from the first all the way to the third quarter. More significantly in the first half, where they got that three in the corner from John Wilson, and that strong finish of a layup by JC Marcelino towards the end of the quarter buzzer, and you got to sustain that.
Special deal for Bonex Bet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Adoryo, pinasok na rin.
Sila Coach Louis slowly pulling out the troops right now, and they pretty much have gone small with only Alan Santos as the lone big man underneath. Of course, you got that forward in Mark Dyke as well.
JC. And Mark Dyke and Bobby Balucanag colliding down low. A foul will be called against Mark Dyke.
It's a double foul between number 20.
No, it's a double foul.
And number 15, Bobby Balucanag.
And I think si Mark Dyke lang is really just adhering to the message of the coaching staff that you cannot be intimidated. So at that point, little hug by Bobby Balucanag, and gusto lang ibalik yun ni Mark Dyke, not to be intimidated.
Now, Coach Mike, you've covered a lot of Ilagan Isabela games. You've seen the highs, you've now seen the lows, much like this one. How do you assess them? Because definitely they're aspiring to get into the playoffs. Coach Louis is, to Andrea's report earlier, still searching the right combination. What do you think is gonna take for them if they wanna make a deep playoff run, or let alone qualify for the playoffs?
I feel they gotta stay the course. No, that's number one. Scoring is gonna be a premium para dito sa Ilagan Cowboys. When they got talents, the other players like J-Boy Solis, Dennis Santos, TH Tumalip, Don Gumaru, the expectation was to level up yung scoring nila, which they did. They won 4 straight games from Valenzuela, Imus, Bacolod, then Cebu. Then they lost a close one, 8-point loss to San Juan. Then eventually won again against Davao. But it's the big team still that they're having a lot of challenges. They lost by 8 points against Rizal. They lost by 17 against Abra. And most recently, they lost 6 points to Basilan. So have they won against the big teams? Not yet.
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Because they've tried different combinations. Talking about Ilagan Isabela. They started the ball game with 3 bigs.
Yes.
Dennis Santos, Alan Santos, Art De La Cruz. And then to begin the third quarter, pinaltan muna si Dennis Santos. Ang pinasok ni Coach Louie, si Joshua Ramirez. And well, it got mixed results because medyo at least towards the tail end of the quarter, lalo nung pumasok si Coco Pinggoy, naibaba nila ng bagya yung lamang. But well, Nueva Ecija just back in it and continued to dominate.
Kasi kanina, yung early in the game, they had really good ball movement and assists because of those plays involving Art De La Cruz. They had assist by Art De La Cruz. And after that, you know, when they were left, as you see Tyrone Chan finish. How many times do you see that? Tyrone Chan, length of the floor finish with his ball, bringing the ball down the floor.
Approved kay Ma'am Ryan and the rest of the Nova Ecijanos.
Dito nagsimula yun, sa shot clock. Pretty much all Tyrone Chan all the way, and that finish with a layup on the other end.
Now with this win by Nueva Ecija, they are assured already of a playoff spot. Sila yung unang team na guaranteed na makakapasok sa playoffs.
At least the top,
Top
worst
6.
case top 6.
Oo.
Right? Worst case you get to 6.
Basta hindi na sila dadaan sa play-in.
Yes. And I'm very sure they still wanna stay there in the top 2 as every team would, because you want to get that home court advantage.
Olegario will lay it in. 55.2 seconds left.
As you look at the guys that's seated right now on the 5-star Cowboys, J-Boy Solis didn't play so much. He only played, how many minutes did J-Boy play? He only played for 5 minutes. Don Gomaru played for 14. And then basically those two guys. Ramirez played for 12. And so only because of matchup situations para dito sa na advantage para dito sa Rice Vanguards. And once those twins started coming in, nakita na yung difference. And John Wilson has really provided the needed firepower. He practically settled down the troops of the Rice Vanguards with those booming threes and the timely plays from John.
89-65, and that will be the final score, and a important victory for Nueva Ecija, especially when you look at how they lost that game last weekend, notching their 23rd victory.